An unexpected Thursday morning for shoppers in Glendale. A huge slab of concrete coming crashing down as a section of the parking structure collapses at Bayshore Town Center. Firefighters rushing to remove rubble and snow blocking the entrance and exit ramp.
TMJ4 News broke this story, and we continue to bring you important new details as we get them.
Sarah McGrew is in Glendale this evening for the cleanup. Sarah, this is going to take a lot of work, and they're saying it could take hours.
Yeah, it's true. I've been talking to people here all afternoon, and they say it's really just shocking to see. Take a look here behind me. It is darker, but I think you can still see a little bit. There's actually heaters now trying to melt that snow that's on top of other debris and concrete. And I mean, it really is just shocking to look at, considering how many people use this parking structure here every day.
I just heard this big rumbling sound.
Darius manages the Rocky Rococo at Bayshore. He says he was inside the restaurant when he heard what he describes as the sound of a bomb.
Somebody said it sounded like an earthquake, but that's what it felt like too. The whole thing just shook.
His restaurant is just feet away from the Bayshore parking garage that partially collapsed.
A portion of the structure had collapsed from the third floor down in a pancake type collapse.
North Shore Fire Chief Robert Whitaker said their first concern was if anybody was buried under the collapse, since it's such a high traffic area.
We have now worked through watching video of security video of that area. We feel, based on that video and also talking to the owner of the two cars that are in the snow pile behind us, that there is no one in that space.
However, two cars are stuck under the snow and debris, and other cars in the garage that aren't damaged are likely going to be sitting there for a while.
There are cars in that parking garage that are unaffected by the actual collapse, but are unable to exit because this is the sole ramp outside of this to get out of the garage.
Sarah Brennan lives in the neighborhood around Bayshore and comes shopping here often.
It's got all of the things that I need here. And I park in here frequently too. When I see that, I am so alarmed and frightened that it could happen at any time. When you go into a parking structure, it could collapse. You just never know.
The fire department says it will be quite some time before anyone is parking in that parking structure or whatever is built to replace it. Now, the cause of the collapse is still under investigation, but the fire chief is saying that snow likely played a role. I talked to some people that live in the apartments here at Bayshore too, and they say when it comes to the parking garages, the snow is plowed, but they can't just push it over the edge, and so they kind of pile it up all in one spot. Live from Bayshore, Sarah McGrew, TMJ4 News.
All right, Sarah, let's talk about that possibility.
Yeah.
There is a ton of snow that built up in that area. Now the question is, could that have caused the collapse?
Most definitely, Brian. We have you here at the desk because, again, as you heard, it's heavy snow. It can be dangerous. At 5:15, the chief of police said again that they were going to have to use torpedo heaters to actually melt that snow.
It's a lot of, what do you want to call it, heavy snow or sleet. There is a lot of it. We saw again where there was a pile, and we heard there was a pile of snow that was just above that part of the structure that collapsed. Now, I've seen other reports where there have been people assuming how big that pile of snow is, but one thing we do know, and there's really no way of telling that. You don't know if some melted off. We don't know if some was pushed down to the lower levels, but what we do know is that sleet is a lot more dense and weighs a lot more than snow. Let's take a look at the comparison here. All right, a standard snow has a 10-to-1 ratio from snow to liquid. So in other words, 10 inches of snow equals 1 inch of liquid. Now, the weight of that is 6.2 pounds in a cubic foot. So again, if you had a box that was 1 foot by 1 foot by 1 foot, that would weigh 6.2 pounds. Sleet, on the other hand, has a ratio of 2.4 to 1, which has a weight of 26 pounds. So sleet weighs 4 times more than a standard snowfall, and I think it's safe to say that was a factor, guys.
All right. Brian.
Well, the I-team has been digging into this parking structure all afternoon.
Sean Gallagher now joins us in the studio with what he's learned. Sean.
Charles and Shannon, here's what we know right now. At this news conference around this afternoon, Glendale Mayor Brian Kennedy said the structure was built between 2005 and 2006, making it less than 20 years old. I went to Glendale City Hall shortly after the collapse to try and see the last time the structure was inspected or if any permits have been recently issued. I was told those records are not readily available, so we filed an open records request with the city. North Shore Fire Chief Robert Whitaker says inspections are done annually by his department on occupied buildings, but he says a parking garage is not classified as an occupied space, so we don't know how often this kind of structure is inspected. We also learned through today's news conference the city inspector was at Bayshore at the time of the collapse inspecting nearby apartments. According to Mayor Kennedy, the city does not inspect these garages. That's done by outside inspectors since Bayshore is privately owned. The mayor was also questioned by our own Steve Shamraz about whether outside engineers or inspectors should come in to look at the garage.
Do you think this is a case where you need an engineer or inspector to come in, since Bayshore is kind of engineering their own property here? Do you need to have your own better eyes on this than Bayshore's people and just trusting their word for it?
So there are a series of inspections that take place. It's not just Bayshore's engineers that sign off on their own work. I mean, there are state inspectors as well.
I also called the managing director of Cypress Equities, which owns Bayshore, and have not heard back. The agency that oversees inspections say they do conduct inspections during the construction process, but not yearly maintenance or fire inspections. They tell me that's done by local fire departments or a local inspector. And we'll continue to dig into this, and whatever we uncover, we'll definitely report it as soon as we get it.
Yeah, these are certainly important questions to ask.
Absolutely.
Most
Thanks.
definitely. Well, be sure to stay with us on air as well as online for the latest developments on this breaking news story. You can watch TMJ4 News streaming 24/7 on Roku and on the TMJ4 News app.